Hello and welcome back to Alex Goes Sailing. As you can see, the tide is dead low and we're actually coming out of the water today, so we've got to get this boat back on the trailer and get him back home. Daniel's gone off for a little yak. He's headed down there, some caves and I don't know, some other stuff, so he's gotten down there, headed off, and I'm going to catch up to him. Decent amount of wind kind of coming from this kind of direction, which is nice. As you can see, we're in the shallows. My anchor's a little way over there, so I've got to pull further into the shallows, and I haven't got much beneath me, so it'd be interesting to see if I can get my anchor out. But if not, the tide's already starting to rise, and well, I can just walk over and pick it up if I want. The one thing is I can't drop my rudder down, so I won't be able to steer, so I'll just have to float off and then put it down. I will have a little bit of steering with the outboard, but not much. But the plan is to have a bit of a sail about Falmouth until about 3 o'clock-ish, and I will definitely try and get the Spinnaker up as well today, because I really want to sail with it. Because I've only sailed with it once maybe. So, and today's perfect. It's like solid 15 knots of wind, and if we're just mucking about in Falmouth, it's ideal for it. So we're going to try and get Spinnaker up. The other thing is it'll only take us an hour and a half from here to get back to where we're putting the boat out, and if we're going at 3 and it's 12 now, we've got an hour and a half just to muck around, and then an hour and a half to sail there, and that's if we left off from here. So we've got plenty of time to have a bit of fun on the water, and then as we're heading back into Falmouth, getting ready, we can start packing up the boat and doing all of that stuff so we can get off the water as fast as possible. So that means dropping all the stuff for the boom and just having the pin ready so we can just pop the pin and then slide it into the boat, and then getting all the lines for the mast organised, taking out all the little pins so we can detension the rigging and get that ready to drop, taking off the solar panels. We've already done a lot of stuff this morning, like tidied up inside the boat, checked inside the pontoons, make sure they're nice, packed away everything that needs to be packed away. So it's nice and tidy now in the back of the boat, and should be on for a good day on the water. And it looks like it's just going to be cloudy with bits of blue sky, so hopefully it gets a little bit better. Right, this is going to get sketchy. I can see it's pretty low. I've got to get rid of that seaweed. Well, we're onto the chain. 10 more meters. Ugh, look at that mess. Right, we've now moved out. I've literally got like 3 or 4 meters of chain out, and I think it's time to get this main up, put the rudder in, because it's plenty deep enough here, and we'll get the outboard set up. Right, outboard, we'll probably have to drop the bucket down. I have been running the bucket at like half height because it stops the bucket dragging in the water, and you can go like 0.3 of a knot faster when motoring, and you still get full steerage, because otherwise at full height it'd be binding. It also doesn't like it when you tilt it up with the tilt control, which is another thing. Yeah, so just there, just when it touches the water, that's when I like it. Although in waves and stuff it's not the best, but way better than the last boat where the outboard fell off, so it's an improvement. Now for the rudder, you've got these 2 little levers here. We just put this new bit of Dyneema line on, and it just drops the rudder down. Checking the depth, we've got 1.1 meters, and I need 0.8 before that even touches, so fairly close, but I mean, shouldn't be too bad. Let me just grab this line, give it a tug. Might have to put you down, but you can see how it goes. And tucks right in. Like that. And then you just lock it off. Right, with those two locked off now, make sure all the lines are run back to the cockpit so they don't drag into the outboard. Normally I tie this one right up, but rudder fully down. Outboard is super easy, because all you do is that, press the button, and then it goes. That's it. Then we've got our full range of steerage there. Turns both at the same time. There's a little pin here that you pull out that allows you to disengage the outboard steering. We've got the tiller pilot working. I still need to get connectors to connect up that panel to the wires that are run through with the scan strut deckland things, and yeah, just need connectors on them. I've ordered them, so for the next trip I'll have them, which will be nice. We've got our charts ready to go. That's saying 4 knots of wind. It's barely anything, but we'll put the main up anyway. Inside's, no, that's probably my brother calling me. Now, for raising the main, what I've got to do is come up here. I've got to pull this pin out. I've got a bit of chafe on that line, so I'm gonna have to change it or just cut it a little bit so it'll be a bit shorter. But pull this pin out of here. I tie it off here because it stops it slapping on the mast, which is one of my biggest pet peeves, slapping things on the mast. Then we just come through here, make sure it's not tangled in the lazy jacks. And then single-handedly put this pin in. Make sure it's locked off, so that's on. Then all we've got to do is unzip this. I've also got this line here tying it to this frame. That frame is used to raise and lower the mast, but what I should need to do is give it a pull, and then that will come off. Carrying on unzipping. Pop that off, and then get on the winch. Right, so you get it winched up, and you just got to make sure that the battens and this part of the sail doesn't catch on the lazy jacks. Nice and simple. Got all the cars running, and then I've now put it on the winch. It doesn't really need to be on the winch. You can pretty much pull it most of the way up, and make sure your main sheet is slacking off a bit, otherwise you'll start sailing while you're on anchor, which isn't the best. Right, and when you're done, just lock off the cleat and take the handle off. Release the line. Easy as that. Right, now all that's left to do is start the outboard. Now this one, we have an electric start. Oh. Easy as that. And I just check it's pumping water, which it is. I'll give it a minute. While I'm doing that, I'll go give the anchor a bit of a tug. Right, anchor has now been pulled. You can see where we are. I've just put the outboard into reverse, so it's going to like pull me out that way. I'll turn, then I'll be able to sail down the channel under the main, which is ideal. And then just like that, we're turned down and heading out of the channel. So the wind's kind of coming across from this way, so pretty much on the beam all the way out, unless it changes because of the land. It's kind of coming where the forecast says it is, so it shouldn't be too bad. Now we've got 1 meter of depth. I'll just pull that down a little bit extra. Right, we've got 1 meter of depth, so we're clear for the rudder and outboard. Right, just coming down through the moorings now, and over there, if you can see it, that's a Telstar 26. So Telstar 26, they made those here in the UK when the designer was living here. And the pontoons actually like fold underneath on a big hinge. 26 foot, you can tell the mast is a lot smaller than the 28 foot that they made in America. This one wasn't made in America. Same guy designed it, but many years later, because that's like, I don't know, a fairly old boat back pre-2000 easily. This is a 2003. I'd say that's probably like an 80s boat maybe. I'd have to have a look, but Yeah, I did think about getting one of those, but then this popped up, the only one in Europe, and I was like, I cannot resist. But those are pretty cool boats too. I did think about it. It would be a bit of a challenge to trailer it, because you need like 2 people to lift up the hammers, and then you put like a bolt in or something. So it'd be a bit of a pain when setting up and stuff, not like this one where it just slides forward and then in. But yeah, pretty cool. Right, now that we're out here, Daniel said he's somewhere by the pirate ship. So hopefully we see him somewhere around here. I haven't spotted him just yet. But you look at that pirate looking ship over there. A lot of bubbles coming out the side of it though. I haven't spotted Daniel yet, but I think he might be there. I found him. Paddle a little way. Right, we're just cruising along, doing about 5 to 6-ish knots, depending when it gusts up. There's, I think there's about 7 knots of wind. So if we're doing 5 knots, that's pretty decent. I'm quite happy with that. The yak is in tow. It's not doing too bad back there. It's a bit everywhere.
It's Falmouth Coast Guard.
Oh.
Maritime Safety Information Broadcast. This is
Oh, this is just the weather. Just the weather. That classic boat over there, love it. Massive yacht over there, but this is Falmouth just here. So we've got about another 2 hours before we need to be at the slip. So we're gonna sail about a little bit, then we're gonna drop all of the sails, and then I'm gonna throw up the Spinnaker, and then we'll just motor back in, and then probably motor around Falmouth a bit, do a bit of exploring, and have a look and see. Oh, some acceleration there. We're just zooming along now. And we're doing what? How fast are we going, Daniel?
About 6.
About 6. We've seen 7. We're going against the tide a little bit at the minute. It's going in towards Falmouth. But I think the plan is we're gonna drop the sails, all of them. I'm gonna flick the outboard on. Gonna slowly motor up there. I ran the lines for the Spinnaker, and then what we'll do is do a Spinnaker run from up there down and out here and see how we get on. I'm gonna try and figure out what kind of angles I can sail at with it, because I haven't used it properly yet. So it'd be nice to see. So we're gonna do some of that. Right, we furled in the Genoa. Daniel's just steering the boat straight into the wind, kind of in a minute. He's going across the wind now. Out there. Right. Drop in. Make sure there's no knots or anything in that. Come back here. Give it a bit of a tug backwards, and we'll run up the front. Pull it down by hand. Make sure it's stuffed in there. Right. I've just ran round. We've got the lines ran. I've connected it up to the sail, and we have it running out to the bowsprit, which I've extended. Just a few lines in there, you pull and it shoots right out. I'll probably show you when it comes back in. But I've made sure the lines all ran around the outside. The Spinnaker itself should shoot out around those lines. So all it takes is hoisting that, you've got the control rope here, which we'll use to actually control it going in and out, to deploy it. And yeah. Right, you ready, Daniel?
Yeah.
Sure you're ready?
Yeah.
To experience the Spinnaker.
Yeah.
Oh, this is gonna be good. I've got all the trackers running. We're gonna see how fast we get. What's the wind speed now? We're going into the wind. So what? It's about 8 knots of wind. So we probably won't be going crazy speeds downwind, but it'll be fun nonetheless. Right, time to throw the bag up. As long as we don't get caught on the thing. I was gonna get caught on the sheet. Right. With you around here. Push it away from you, the steering. That. Howdy. So, at the minute, we are just down from a beam. We got like 4 knots of power wind, but we're doing like 3.5 knots ish, roughly. So, not too shabby. Right, just about to pack up this sail now. All I'm doing is letting off on the sheet a little bit, not a lot. Probably about that much, just guessing. I'm gonna grab the control line from there, make sure it's not twisted, like that. And all I've got to do is pull on this. Right, do you want to lay off on that sheet a bit more? The other side. Ready? Right, do you want to go inside? You have to lift the bag up. Make sure it folds on itself while it's in there, folds nicely. So you can leave the bag on the floor, and just let it fold on itself, like help it to. Right, I've just finished putting the spinnaker and stuff away. So we've got our head sail, we've got our boom, we've got all of these lines that all need packing away because we're going to come out in the water when we get back to the dock, and we're maybe half an hour away from it. So we're going to go around the boat, I'm going to pull all of the reefing lines out. That's going to stay in because that's the boom lift at the back. On the other side we've got Spinnaker lines and stuff, all of those are going to get tied to the mast. We've got to drop the head sail. I don't know whether we'll do that when we get back on land or whether we'll do that on the water. Kind of depends if we can find a decent place to kind of hover while we do it, and we can pack it up in the water. So yeah, that's the plan. Right, we just made it to the dock. Fairly straightforward docking, a little bit tricky. There's a boat here, a bit tight also with all these boats. So we're gonna get cracking. I'm gonna run up, the car is hidden up there, and Daniel's just making a bit of lunch. And I'll get pulled out of it. There's just enough water to get out at this state of tide, so not too bad. And it's bob on 3 o'clock. Right, we're all loaded up and time to head back home. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.